Welcome. Thanks for joining me, everybody. It's Sunday night frontline today. Wow. I'm really sorry about what happened Friday. That was a little bit out of my control. Lots of technical issues, which are not all resolved, but it's working enough that we can stream tonight. So that's what we're gonna do. This will be something I'll have to fix in the future, but I'm, like I said, really sorry about it. Didn't mean to have to cancel like that. I tried really hard to get it fixed, but it just was not in the cards. So we're gonna do today what we were gonna do then, which is I don't even remember what we had planned. Well, obviously we're gonna do a little gambling, and then after that, I think we're gonna either test the character out on the expansion drill. I don't want to do the Gunsmoke Frontline because it's the same boss again, and everybody knows how to do that. And to be honest, that's just a lot of min-maxing as far as like skill order and stuff with new characters. Hi, Paul. How's it going? I'm glad you were able to swing by. And yeah, I got the audio working. That's the most important part. The rest of it, well, you guys don't know if it's broken or not, so it don't matter to you. So let's see. I feel like I'm forgetting something as always, but you know, we're just gonna go with it. So I'm gonna stall for like a minute here to see if anyone's a little late. If someone, because I posted this stream a little later in the day than usual. And like I said, I didn't even know if I was gonna have it fixed today. So we're gonna hold off for a minute here before we start gambling. Yeah, I saw that, Paul, that they raised the max score, and you can kill the boss for some reason. Well, I mean, you can kill it without getting penalized, because before you, the shield that he put on himself on the very last turn counted towards your score. So now you can kill him and still get max points. So you didn't have to like stall and wait for that last turn, which kind of wasn't a problem for 99.9% of the player base, but for the truly dedicated fans, they had to not go all out. They had to be like Goku and like wear training weights. How's it going, Arlo? What else? There was some other big updates I want to kind of go over. We're gonna do gambling. I don't think we're gonna get the weapon today. I think we're just grabbing the character. We are not on a guarantee, right? Because that was, I mean, I know we're not. I'm just curious if, okay, we did win a 50-50 off Springfield. All right. I couldn't remember if I had even tried to grab Perry or not. So we'll have to do a fresh 50-50 on Nikketa. I don't think we're going to grab the weapon just because it's not a huge upgrade. It's got just buku amounts of attack on it. But to be honest, Samosek's close enough. And I do need to be a little cautious of future character releases because we've been burning through a lot of tickets. I have, how many do I got? 340. But yeah, some of the upcoming characters are ones I'm really interested in. Who did they say was coming right after Nikketa? I've already forgotten. They previewed it the other day and I already forgot. It was, maybe they didn't preview it. Maybe I'm having a moment. Well, okay, well, we're gonna stall for one more minute here and then we're gonna gamble. I did the boss for the expansion drill this week. It was this boss. I don't know if you guys found it interesting. I found this tedious, if nothing else. It's tedious just because I felt like it's one of those bosses where because of this thing here, it literally forces you to do the boss fight one very specific way, and if you don't, well, then just be sad, I guess. I don't even think I'm gonna like do a quick guide for it, right? Like sometimes I do like for new bosses and stuff, I do a like how to. I don't even think I'm gonna do it for this one because this one's literally like bring the fire team or just don't bother because it's gonna be just a slog. It's like the last boss, only worse, if that's possible. Because you just need to trigger 1,000,000 attacks to rub this coating off. He gets 15 stack. We'll go over it one because I think we're gonna try Nikketa out. I want to test some things with her because I'm not exactly sure her rotation as far as segment 0. But yeah, that boss is really kind of stupid if you ask me. Oh yes, thank you, Paul. It's Jeng Yu, Diane's sister, the first electric character that we're gonna get. Yeah, I totally forgot, but we still have no idea which. I am gonna grab Jeng Yu because I'm a big fan of her, but don't think I'm gonna. Well, we have no idea what she's gonna do now, right? So I want to say, oh, I'm gonna grab a segment because who knows what the segments are gonna do after the rework. So let's go ahead and start. Also, at least the boss was difficult. The expansion drill boss was difficult on 4040. To be fair, most of the expansion drill bosses are difficult at 4040 because you have to just fight uphill through a ton of stupid mechanics. But to be honest, 4040 is really meant for people with like tons of segments on their character. It's not really meant for like free-to-play accounts. You could probably do it depending on the boss and depending on the strat, but they are generous in the turn limit because I think you get what 12 or 15 turns, and since in frenzy mode there's no special objectives, it's just defeat the boss. You can probably do it, but it gets a little dicey because in oh, see, this is the Windows updates that was my Windows updates, one of the many things that are broken on my computer. You're fighting uphill because you have to at 4040 you have to take the whatever the frenzy levels that increase, that have like a ramping damage effect and damage reduction effect on the boss. So the longer you take, the harder it gets. But yeah. So let's go ahead and start gambling here. I've been talking for a good 10 minutes now and not actually doing anything. So we're just gonna see if we can get this out of the way in 110 pull. But it looks like not. I am gonna guess things don't go well today because I'm a negative Nancy like that. So we're gonna skip these animations because I have a feeling we're gonna be seeing a lot of them tonight. I've got the basic 3-star version of the gun. Yep. Start to dig in the savings. Paul says there's been a few ones that were way easy. Trying to think which ones were the super easy ones. I know Kashmir started to get kind of dicey at high. Well, I don't know. Well, it wasn't, right? Like, that was kind of a weird one. I'm trying to think of some of the other ones. You're right, some of them were just like, there's kind of nothing that changes, it just makes the fight go longer, and once again, depending on your segments, that might not matter. Yeah, we're not off to a great start, guys. We're getting literally just the welfare at 10 every time. Will our luck turn around? Oh, just as I said it. That was, I think, 40, right? Okay, now let's see if we get to stop here, or if we have to keep going. Don't prank me like that. Alright, boys. Alright, boys. Yes! Well, I was wrong again. Today went well. Today was a good day. So you just see, I just proves, be negative in life and then, you know, things turn out positive or something like that. I don't know. Well, okay, that was awesome. It's funny because my friends and me, I was talking about, like I said, my luck in other gachas. It truly is night and day. I think I have like a 90% win rate on 50-50s in this game, and I get them early all the time. And yeah, it's just the other game I'm still struggling. Still I think, like I said. Oh, it's just the rich surely do get richer. That streamer luck. Okay, so we're good to go now. I'm not, like I said, I'm not gonna even grab the weapon. How many was that? That was 40, right? Because we had, yeah, it was like, yeah, jeez, it was like 40. Sweet. Okay, well, let's level her real quick and let's start testing. We didn't get the 4-star weapon though, right? Not that it matters. I was just curious for the skin. Yeah, we didn't get the 4-star, but it's okay. They have that one in the event shop. Do I have an extra Samosec? That's the question, though. Oh, I think Nemesis is gonna have to borrow us the Samosec for today. That's a damn shame, Jimmy. All right, let's do it. But let's level her up. Yeah, dude. So she's a pretty cool character. She obviously synergizes super well with Springfield. We just have to be a little careful because, so from my like initial understanding, like how I was looking over the character, you can get, I think it's her segment 2 allows her to get essentially every single turn after you, I mean, first turn you're going to summon your doggo. But then after that, it's always use her second skill followed by her ult, because you'll have enough confectants to do that. But I don't think you can do that without, I think, segment 2. So we're gonna test that out today. That's kind of one of the things I wanted to double check. Even with segment 1 Springfield, it's kind of required. What's the dog's name? I already forgot. Kuchil or something like that. Klitch or something like that. Kind of weird that they went with the screen for a face, but like still kind of cool. Alright, we've seen this enough. Coolidge, yeah, that's it. Thank you. Almost there. Okay, so we are all leveled up now. Got weapons. What do we gotta do? We gotta do neural helix still. This is important. Because now I don't think I have enough cores to get all of them. I mean, I do, but I also have a backlog of characters that need a couple more abilities themselves. So I think, unless her common key is cracked as hell, which I don't remember it being. Yeah, I mean, it's good, but it's not universal. Because you got to be essentially running her with Springfield. I think. Can't think of any other. I mean, Tolo could probably use it, but whatever. It's not going to be used on every character. So, all right, we need this one. Targeted skill. Yep, this is one of the ones that's important. That's not important. This one changes her. I think it's her first ability, right? Judgment Strike. Which one's Judgment Strike? That's K9 deployment. Judgment Strike, second ability. Okay, so this one just turns into an AoE, so it still does the same amount of damage. It just goes from one target to an AoE, but it's still 80%, right? Yeah, okay. So that's fine in like normal stuff, but for boss fights, it doesn't matter. We can skip that one for now. What about this one? Stability break. Yeah, this is obviously not going to work on bosses. So I'm just curious. This one is interesting. So it would be good, except I need to double check, but I'm like 99% sure that Springfield already hands out attack up to. Yes. Okay. Yeah, so Springfield's pretty much permanently going to have this buff up on her already because they'll be spamming her shared telepathy. or opposite, opportune assistance, which gives her shared telepathy. You're going to be like kind of rotating between the two units. So you should always have two turns of attack up. So we don't need that one either. So that just kind of limits it. This one's okay. This implants water weakness. If you don't have Springfield, once again, Springfield kind of already does this. I'm trying to think if there's any other uses for this. Yeah, I mean, the healing debuff, that's it. Well, whatever. We'll grab this, because that's always, you know, good stability reduction. And then we'll grab one more. Actually, let me check one thing on this. Does Judgment Strike say you get a Confectance for every point, for every target hit? No, she just gets Confectance. Okay, so it has nothing to do with how many targets she hits. Yep, pointless. All right, well, we'll just grab this one then. I don't think the Tideway tiles will be useful for anything, but we'll cross that bridge when we get there. Doesn't really matter. Eventually, I'm going to unlock all of them on her. And just right now, Yunhawak is too many characters, not enough cores. And she's just going to get... do these have ammo attributes? They do not. This one does. And this one does. I think we're just going to keep it simple for now. Whoops. One. I think we're just going to keep it simple for now, and we are just going to throw a bunch of generic ones on her. Where's attack and crit? One. Side. Attack and crit, attack and crit, attack and crit. Surely I have an attack and crit one. Oh, I guess I don't. Everyone's using them. Well, guess we're getting the hand-me-downs. I'll strip them off somebody who's not important later. Ghost. Yeah, she's got quite the design. That's all right. I can't believe this is the skin that they designed for her. I mean, I remember that. I can believe this 100%. They're crazy over there, dude, at Mika. Wait, is this... Okay, I was wondering if there's like a special animation that went with this or something. But yeah, her actual character design is cool because it's very similar to her GFL1 design, except whatever's happening in the shirt area, that's kind of new and interesting. But the rest of it is very similar, which is really cool. Like I said, the blue outfit with the like police-esque like jacket, very cool. I have a feeling that they're not done making outfits for her. That's just my guess. But we're gonna test her out. Wait, hold up. Did I forget anything important on her? I always forget important stuff. Where did she go? There. No, we gotta be pretty close, right? I'm at 11,000. All right, let's just give it a try real quick. So we're gonna go to expansion drill. We'll just do the ones I did last time. So AoE damage is reduced. This doesn't matter because you single target him. I guess we're gonna kind of go over the boss for people who haven't done it yet, and we're also gonna... I said there's not really much strategy to it. I pity the fool who didn't pull the fire team, because this is just literally that. It's just literally a check for the fire team. I don't know how to... It's like even worse than the last boss with Librarius, where it was just like, oh hey, you didn't bring matching weakness types, well just go cry in a corner. So this is, once again, not a big deal, because you're going to want to kill these assault devices. They're really easy to kill too. I have Tolol just kind of like run off and do that. This kind of sucks, but you should be able to burn through thermoplastic in a turn, and if you don't, you just get it on the next turn. Like a couple extra stacks is not the end of the world, because it's one of those things where it's like you're either going to consistently rip it all off in one turn, or you're going to be 1 or 2 short, and then whatever. It's like, okay, next turn, just have your attack or your support units attack first and strip the last couple off, even if he gets a couple back. This is fine because same thing, you're going to strip it off, and then we get just one more easy one to pick. We could do this one because we're going to implant weaknesses. It's just the only problem is he has, I want to say, light ammo weakness. Let's just check here. He's got light ammo and shotgun. So this will delay it a little bit. Like, this will slow down the ripping from, like, medium ammo and stuff, but whatever. It's not that serious. If you're having trouble, his stability is actually not the annoying thing of this fight. So it says he gets the 80% damage reduction, but I don't know how it calculates that, because it definitely does not reduce your damage by 80%. I wonder if it's like pre or post like defense modifiers and stuff, because it does not feel like an 80% damage reduction. So stability is not a big deal, and he has no important mechanics tied to stability either, so we can take that one. So we'll just whatever, tone that down a little bit. Just get a nice even 18. Yeah, dude, Radicaling, this is the surprise Sunday stream because my computer had a heart attack on Friday, so we had to cancel Friday night. So this is the team I used, and it made this boss really easy and straightforward. But we're going to edit this team slightly. We are going to... I think we're going to remove Sharkery, and we're going to swap in Nikketa. I think that's what we're gonna try here, right? I'll do. Oh, okay. I'm not crazy. I'm like, why does Changju have like white hair and then graphical glitch? See, white hair, black hair, white hair, black hair. Cool little magic trick. Let's do that to there. We're gonna post up Changju on this side. All right. Yeah, so you can't actually, for anyone who hasn't done this fight yet, you can't actually hurt him until these 15 stacks are gone. And you remove those 15 stacks by just attacking the boss. After the 15 stacks are gone, he gets his fire weakness implanted in himself. So you'll notice when I open up here with Vector, actually let's have Changju go first. Actually, we want her to be right here, I think. So, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself. Let me slow down here for a second. After you rip these 15 stacks off, he'll get fire weakness, and then it'll be a lot easier to rip through this ginormous amount of stability, which, once again, not that it really matters, it's just going to make him take more damage when it's down. He doesn't have any important mechanics tied to it. He's still going to go through his same attack rotation. So it's mostly just getting these 15 stacks off so you can actually hurt him. So to do that, you'll see when we try and implant fire weakness, it actually won't implant. He also, like I said, he also gets it when he loses the thermoplastic coating. So if you attack him from too far away, he'll counterattack you. So you got to make sure you're within whatever tiles. I want to say was it 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tiles. But she's still got white hair. That's kind of cool. Oh. The other thing that we're not gonna really do, but you'll see in a second here. So you'll see he doesn't actually get fire weakness from doing this. But for his first turn attacks, what he's gonna do is he's gonna slam. He's gonna do one of those near far type deals, and then he's going to bring out one of the little dudes, one of the little assault devices. Now you can do one of two things. This map was pretty generous, and they put all this nice cover all around him in a nice perfect square, and he doesn't move, so you can just always take the far hit, right? So how it works is it's going to try and do an AoE slam if someone's within 3 tiles, and if not, he's going to then do a slightly harder hitting attack to somebody outside of 3 tiles. And he'll also increase stability damage to them that they'll take further. Now, because you're going to be in cover the whole time, that's actually not that big a deal. because to be within 3 tiles of him, you have to withstand. You'd have to stand either. So remember, this is the main hitboxer, so you count out from here. So it's 1, 2, 3. Same thing over here. So it'd be one of these 4 corners here, or you know, the inside part. Since there is no cover in that area, you're going to take the full 90% of the damage versus the other attack, which hits a little harder for 110%, but you'll get a cover reduction. And that would be a small little problem if over the course of the fight you couldn't recover your stability, but in this team, for example, Springfield just throws stability around like crazy. So we're going to have the team just be standing outside of 3 tiles the whole time. Now, the question... So I know we got to summon the dog first. I'm just trying to think. Probably have Springfield go first, because you still want the buff up. This is weird. This one you can implant the weakness. It's kind of goofy, but, you know, it is what it is. I'm actually going to try something a little different. We're going to put the doggo right here so that he will do the ground slam on the doggo. Because he will be within 3. And we'll have Tolol start getting in position. I like having Tolol with Chongju, because even though they don't synergize with like their element types and stuff, Tolol just gets a million attacks. So it triggers Chongju really easily. Okay, so the doggo attacked. She attacked, counterattacked from that. So we broke through all the... Oh, what an asshole. So we broke through all the stacks, so he did get his fire weakness now. He'll get water weakness a second when Springfield attacks him for the second time. Ooh. That is a problem, though, because I can't put the... So normally, on this turn, you would go 1 to here, she'll get a bonus turn, put the buff on both of Tolol and Nikketa, but I kind of need the water weakness on the boss for stability. This is the one problem of having these 2 different types of units. Like, so she's creating tideway tiles with Kulchitz, and Vector is creating fire tiles with Portent of Doom. So they're like overriding each other constantly, except that I have segment 1 Vector, so it actually covers his entire hitbox with fire because it's 2 wide instead of 1 wide. So it's actually kind of a problem. Let me see. How can we solve this? Well, I don't think there's really much to solve. Well, I'm gonna just not worry about it because I actually want to test this out. We want to test out. The whole point of doing this was not to do the fight again. I wanted to test out Nikketa. So, okay, when we attack, we're gonna get 2 confectants, right? It'll give you an extra command too. That will have 3, and we'll be able to do Righteous Verdict. Oh, before we do that. White hair imposter Chongju has to get in position. Okay, so then we can trigger her ult. Actually, chunks pretty hard. So we got 2 back. Okay. But here's the problem. It's going to be on cooldown for a turn. That was the issue. There's no way around that. I believe one of her segments might alleviate that later, but we'll get to that. Oh, this sucks. He put it in like the ass corner, so I'm not going to be able to... I'm going to have to do this. This is really awkward to do, but... So normally you wouldn't want to do that because if you want to min-max really hard. Taking that counterattack, it reduces how much extra HP you have for Overflowing Care, so you're actually reducing your Hydro damage. But I didn't want to waste an attack. Oops. I didn't want to waste an attack going through cover and not doing anything to this. So, because I know I was going to do this. Murder his face, and then come back to here. Critical link. The Changju with the white hair actually kind of slaps. And yeah, dude, it is actually, you know, it's like custom mods. I said I wish I could like zoom in without it switching because I kind of want to see what it looks like up close, but we'll just have to admire from afar. We'll stare respectfully. Tip my fedora while I do it. And then what we got is this. Oh, this turn. Can I slow it down before he goes? No. Okay, so same thing. He's gonna do a near farm. So he's just picking a random far target. I think that was a near farm. Doggo counterattack, which triggered another Changju, and Nikketa attack. Just counterattacks. And then Springfield's bird is counterattacking like crazy too. Now he's gonna mark the whole arena, and so it seems like the intention of this is to not stand in the bad, right? Like every game since the dawn of time has taught you don't stand in the fire, but this doesn't hit very hard. Yeah, it doesn't hit very hard, and to be honest, like you would have to have pre-positioned because, like, as you can see, there's no way Changju's getting out of this. In fact, most of these characters are in, like, there's just not enough movement to do it. So while it seems like, oh no, I should move, it's like, nah, I just kind of eat it. Let's go ahead and always get these in the wrong order. So slow, like molasses. Yeah, that's gonna trigger the first attack from there, which shouldn't matter too much. Ooh. I say it shouldn't. Oh, we're gonna find out. You could bait that with anybody, to be honest. I could have had Springfield go, or Nikketa go, but it's fine that Changju takes it. We'll just burn through Vector stuff. So yeah, Nikketa is still on cooldown. So okay, so I think you just have to like alternate between these two at segment 0. That is unfortunate. I'm trying to find a spot I can. There's no way. Yeah, there's no way I can put the water tiles down, or the tideway tiles, without because the second this fire ability procs again, it's just gonna get reimplanted. Oh no, don't go over there. What are you doing? We will do Tololo's triple attacks, and then we're gonna give her another telepathy. It hurts that she just has to waste all her attacks, burning through these stacks. This is a little easier with I said with Sharkery, because Sharkery is obviously doing all of these follow-ups from Changju. And if you have a higher segment vector, you get bonus follow-ups. But see, this will also restore a bunch of stability, so we're not going to worry. I'm actually a little worried about Changju here. We're going to see if she gets clapped. Yep, that's what I was worried about. It would have been fine if she hadn't taken the initial hit. The boss will still die. Let me show you how we should have done that turn. We'll just breeze through real quick. So whoever acts first is going to get hit by his attack. We can have it be Tolol because 2 reasons. We're about to heal her with Springfield, and none of these attacks do any damage, so it doesn't matter. I just remembered I had ulted with Changju just because, like, you know, muscle memory says always ult at the beginning of the turn with Changju, but that doesn't matter because she's not taking any damage. So this is how you'd actually do the turn correctly, which I didn't think would matter, but it does. And same thing. It's like I knew that because I did it like a bunch of times when I was testing this earlier, and I totally forgot. There we go. So she's got her stability and her HP, so everyone will survive the big hit, and we can have just burn through more stacks. Because once again, we can't do any damage to the boss, so it doesn't matter if she goes into support mode. Doggo! Okay, now everyone should live. Except maybe the dog, who cares? Let's hit everyone with this, get their HP back. So if you had done that, when I was doing this with the fire team, the reason that one hit a little harder than what I anticipated originally was because when I did this with the fire team, he had already lost all his, whatever, I keep forgetting what these are called, the thermoplasmic coating, and we just took the buff, so yeah, so he's got extra stacks right now. He's doing a little extra damage. That's why that one hit a little harder than I had anticipated. But if you're using, like I said, a team that had ripped it off by the end of that turn, you would have been fine. But we're gonna actually get through all his stability this turn, so I need to figure out who wants to be the big damage dealer. Yeah, I guess we want to do this. At this point, the fight is just gonna rinse and repeat, right? We're back to near far, and then he's gonna summon a little drone dude. I think this should rip the last couple off. Because this... Oh, did the dog die? Oh, the dog dies. That's sad. Thought he lived with a little HP, but I guess not. Well, you know, it is what it is. Next turn, he'll be back. Yeah, there's nothing really much to talk about here on this fight. Like I said, it's just a big slog fest. I think we might even ignore this one. So the reason I positioned Changju over on this side is so that she can kill the assault devices with the help of somebody if it spawns opposite of Tolol. I mean, Tolol is fast enough that you could come to here, then do a second attack to here, and then finish it with the alt. But, of course, the cover is a problem. Like, we could come here and also... Or actually, you stand where you're at and kill it, right? No. But anyway, the boss is about to die, so I don't even think it's worth doing it. But if you had to, you could do something like that. Let me make sure that she's still got telepathy on her, which she might have run out of. She's got one more turn of telepathy. So this turn, it would go on Nikketa, right? Because Nikketa is out. Or no, she's got 2 left. Actually, this turn is a freebie for Springfield. But we would... I think the better play would be to refresh it on Tolo at the end of the turn. So you go Tolo X first. Although, once again, I probably should have ulted with Changju. The one time I don't think about it. And then... There we go. That's how you get to him. That's why I bring Tolo with this team on this fight, because it's just really comfy to be able to go chase these stupid assault things down no matter where they go. She can just hang out and cover here. It's gonna die, aren't it? Yeah, it's gonna die. Gonna get crit. So whatever. Springfield would have then refreshed her telepathy and also given her stability here. Okay, I tested what I wanted to test. And I also kind of showed everyone the fight, even though just like I said, it's not that special. It really is just like bring the fire team. Like if you have, like I said, the one that I originally gone in there with, which was Sharkry Changju Vector, and then I did Springfield Tolol, but you can, to be honest, kind of do anybody, even Xiaomi. Xiaomi makes it comfy because the boss just does like a couple big attacks, and the shield, as long as you don't throw the shield, her ice shield on the boss, like underneath the boss, because it's going to get overwritten by Vector's fire tiles. As long as you don't do that, you're golden. I just remembered we have a new character, so we need to switch this background. Where did she go? Where is she? Is she right at the beginning? They put the newest characters up front? They must, yeah. Literally the first one. Defying gravity in more than one way. Dude, what's this dog? It actually kind of looks like this dog is like Godzilla size, and he's got like his one little claw on the crates and the other one on the ground, and he's just, you know, massive. But let's take a look at her again. Oh god, this fucking costume. Oh, jeez. Every time I see it, man, I still can't believe this is the world we live in. This one, so segment 1 is just more damage. This is her second skill that you use before vault. It goes from extra command, which means you can only shoot, to you get to move and shoot. That's not that big a deal. Let's see, this one lets her... Monitoring is the one I said. There's so many debuffs and stuff. Okay, so this just increases the damage dealt to the target, essentially, by her and her pet. One of these I thought reduced the cooldown. So this is on the alt. It lets you save more confectants. So, like, I guess if you didn't have Springfield, this is like a nice fix for that, right? You'd have... The alt would then only go to, what, 2 confectants? Yeah, which you can generate just by literally using Judgment Strike. So you Judgment Strike, even if you have start the turn with 0 confectants, you Judgment Strike, get 2, and now your alt's up. And you follow it up with the alt. Now, the only problem is, at what point can you do that? Oh, thank you, Undom. That's what it was. You're right. You're right. I'm crazy. Yes, you're right. When you get an extra action, it's a whole extra turn, so it advances your cooldowns. Yes, because that's what Tololol gets, right? See, I always forget the little nuanced details and stuff like that. Where is Tololol? Right, it's her talent. Yes. Yes. Okay. So, thank you, Undom. You are 100% correct. That's the part that advances her rotation. So that will let you, if you get her segment 1, it then essentially lets you just go skill 2, alt, skill 2, alt. And if you have Springfield, you can stop at segment 1 because you'll get the extra confectants needed because, you know, it's 3 to alt and you get 2 from the skill. But if you have Springfield using shared telepathy, that will get you the 3rd point of confectants. So with Springfield, you can just go skill 2 alt, just for indefinite amounts of time. Unless the dog dies, you got to resummon him. This one replaces, I use that in quotation, Springfield, because then you're going to generate enough confectants by yourself, and it's a damage boost. So segment 1, if you kind of want to spread the, like, your pulls out a little bit, but if, like, I guess for some reason you don't like Springfield and you only want this character, then, you know, and it does make her self-sufficient, right? I guess at that point, as weird as it is, you could slap her in any team, and the reason I say that's weird is because the game really kind of isn't going in that direction. The game really wants you to build teams of all the same element, like mono-element teams that all synergize with each other, and then implant their weakness. I don't know if that's going to change in the far future, but like right now, having an account full of characters that just can kind of be versatile and be filled in any team, like Diane is a good example, right? Like Diane at one point was just kind of like, hey, just slap her in any team. She's just super mobile, super comfortable to use, super flexible, just great overall. But even now, they're like, okay, you want to use Diane in the Yuhi physical team. Because now with her stuff, she gets like defense shred and whatnot. So while this is a good segment, I don't know if it's worth going that deep for. I'm actually tempted to get the segment 1, especially so. Oh man, the greed. We got the character on 40 pulls. Man, I'm tempted. I'm double tempted too because I saw my friend doing polls and he's like, I'm gonna go for segment 1 on this character, and he did like a 10 poll and he got a double. Got segment 1 and segment 2, and I'm like, how did you do that? All right, guys. Remember, don't listen to my advice. I'm not a good. Do as I say, don't do as I do. All right, we're gonna do just a couple. Just a couple. Nope. Maybe 20 or 30. What do you think, guys? We're just, oh, bro, I'm just building pity. Very nice. Very nice. Oh yeah, dude, it's no biggie. Just building pity. Just getting closer to that that next character. Okay, we're gonna stop. That's enough. We're done building pity. Maybe in the future I'm gonna like reevaluate the pros and cons of getting segment 1. The reason I'm definitely considering it is because as I've explained in a couple other streams, I am really looking forward to Florence, and she's Hydro and she synergizes with this team very well. I need to double check whether it's better to grab a segment 1 or 2 Florence and just keep Nikketa at segment 0, but we're gonna figure that all out a different day. That's too much thinking for me today. And then also I gotta be a little cautious. Dude, the problem is they have so many characters that are like slated to come out. So Jang Yu's coming out, but we don't know what she's gonna do, and she right now is kind of I don't really like to say this, but she is a quote easy skip because she is obviously, like I just explained before, the game is really going towards mono element teams, and she's going to be like the first of the electric units, which means she's going to have no one to pair with. Now, her old kit was kind of self-sufficient. It didn't really require a ton of electric units. It had a lot to do with like counterattacks. Like she would like build up stacks on herself, and then when someone was in her range and tried to attack someone, she'd do like a macchiato type counterattack or ambush attack, and she'd clap back at them for a pretty sizable amount of damage. But we have no idea what her rework's going to be. But anyway, Jang Yu's coming out. Florence is coming out soon. AA12 or Lind, also looking forward to her. Obviously Lena, but Lena's locked in the basement. Level's got her chained up down there and won't let her out until both of them probably release at the same time with UMP 40, or what's her name in this one? Laney? So the upcoming months are going to be mega packed. So I'm scared to go like too deep and get a little too aggressive. But I mean, the good thing is we can always fix that problem. I haven't had to do this yet. You know, we can always fix that problem. Oh yeah, dude, Ghost, I think we are getting Jang Yu and her reworked. I think they had mentioned that in the stream. They didn't tell us what the rework was gonna be, but I think that was the reason she was delayed this long, right? Because in the original CN release, I think she was like what was it? It was like, first it was Diane, then I think it was like Centurisi, and then I think she was like the third one, right? Like, she was like one of the very first units that came out in CN. Maybe Lana was in there before her, I don't remember exactly, but they've delayed her so long on purpose because they really did want to like get the rework done, and I'm assuming like have it all finalized before they brought her out on our servers, which is cool, because for like one of the first times ever, assuming we get it at like within the same week or like a very similar time period, for like one of the first times ever, we'll get to experience a new character the same time they will. So, you know, we won't just get hand-me-down strats, which will be fun for about 5 minutes until the hand-me-down strats come. I'm just looking at the rest of her stuff. I think a lot of this is just, yeah, it's just your typical like do more damage type stuff. It's the loyalty. Oh yeah, just more counterattacking. do you guys have opinions on stuff like this? Like, to me, so don't get me wrong, this is a really big damage increase, right? But it's kind of boring, right? Like, it doesn't, it's just like, yeah, I don't know, add like 100% extra damage. Because does this build up over time? I can't remember if this stacks or not. But anyway, this is just kind of a boring segment to me, because it's so simple. It's just like, here, when you hit the alt, the big number gets even bigger. You know, like, I understand that they don't want to like put like for example, segment 1 is like, this is a pretty big difference in how you play the character. Like Undom had mentioned, like, it does change your rotation up completely. I understand you don't want that for segment 6, because then people are kind of like locked out of that play style, especially if it's like really different. Klukai motorcycle is another good example, right? Versus like, well, I guess technically segment 3 for her, but segment 6 is where it procs everything on the first drive-by, right? So you can use her with Pretia. So it's like, those are a little more interesting synergies, right? It's like, it's not just a straight damage number go up, which it definitely, hers definitely has that, but it also like puts new synergies in the game. This is just like, as far as I can tell, big number go up, which is like fine. It's just, you know. Yeah, I mean, to be honest, Undom, that's like all the segment 6s, right? There's a couple that are different. Macchiato's is not. I think hers is what? Yeah, this is just interception she can get. Yeah, this is just big damage. I'm trying to think of somebody who changes up. I said Klukai's gets a little different because yes, these trigger right away, which once again, so this is segment 3 is the one where you, even if you only hit the boss or one target, you get to zoom a second time. But this is the segment that triggers all of her dots to go off when she zooms. So this is what opens up the synergy with Pretia, which is different and interesting. I'm pretty sure Diane's is just big number go up. Yeah, just tons of tuning stacks. Hers is, yeah, Scorchmark just stacks to infinity now. Yeah, just a million Scorchmark stack, which makes the number just go huge. Vectors is, yeah, just crit damage. Yeah, okay. I can't remember off the top of my head. There's a select few characters that get something a little different at segment 6. I just, I can't remember what they are off the top of my head, and I won't bore you guys by reading through all of them. This is actually one of the least impactful ones in the whole game. Or Portololo. Do we have anything else to go over? I was gonna do an artifact recovery. I wasted so much time on that boss fight, though. Do you guys want to see me do an artifact recovery? I can speed through it. Although we don't get to use the new character with artifact recovery. That's the problem. That's the issue. It's that they don't let you use your characters 100%. Is there anything we can do? Expansion drill, boss fight, peak. It's peak evaluation. Yeah, I don't know. Are the quote challenge modes even open? Oops, wrong one. These aren't open, right? Yeah, god damn it. Yeah, exactly, Undom. The Klukai segments are interesting because they add team building choices to the gameplay. Yeah, so Ghost, this is something I noticed as well. And this ties a little bit into what I was saying earlier. So Ghost says infinite stacks of Scorchmark is crazy potential for future burn teams, but it's been 7 months without a new burn unit on the CN side. And for those of you who aren't aware what Scorchmark does, is we can bring it up here. Pretty much every time you hit the unit with a fire attack, it's gonna add a stack to it, and then at the end of the turn, it like explodes all the stacks, resets them to 0, and does a whole ton of extra damage based on it. It's double crazy because normally, I think, what's it say? Caps out at 12? Yeah, 12 stacks, but later on, one of their segments make it so like it goes up to like a lot more. I can't remember exactly which one it is, but or maybe they just do more damage. But anyway, the scorch marks, like I said, start to, especially at her segment 6, get insane. Like the number gets really, really big. And yeah, this one generates them twice as fast, although I'm having a hard time. I thought there was one. I don't have this all memorized. I really should. One of these increases the number of scorch marks you can have on the target, I think. No, I guess not. Segment 3? Did I go right past 12? Oh yeah, duh, right there, literally the first sign. Thank you. See, this is why guys got you guys here. Yeah, so there's no longer a stack limit from segment 3, and then segment 6 means you stack them twice as fast, and you can easily get into like the 20 plus range of scorch marks every turn. And then obviously they've been building up damage the whole time. This is the issue that I have with the way that they've designed a lot of these teams, right? So okay, so let's say you get the premium fire team, or whatever, the premium hydro team or whatever. Like I was saying before, they want you to build teams of the characters that all fit in the roster. Okay, what do you do now, right? For Sion, like what do you release? Like a fire sniper? Right? Like they've kind of got to the point where it's like, do you just power creep old units? Right? Do they just literally make a Sharkery unit that does everything that Sharkery does plus a little more? Or do they make like an even more tailor-made like fire support healer type deal? Like that's the issue I have with having like these fire teams or like these like mono element teams, is that it really kind of like locks the team into being quote done at a certain point, right? Like eventually you assemble all the pieces of the Exodia, you get all 5 members of the team, 4 for normal content, 5 for like Gunsmoke content, but you get all 5 members of the whatever team it is, and then it's like, I don't know, like what do you do after that? I guess you could have like different versions of characters, like maybe you swap Chongju for an AoE fire damage version of Chongju, right? Like imagine like Kukai, but she does fire damage, and now she just fits on that same team. Except that like if there's ever content where you need AoE, you just use her instead of Chongju. I don't know. The other thing they could probably do is, and this is probably what's going to end up happening, is they're going to hit the point where a character like, you have a full team, right? And like this is Vector's team with, you know, Chongju, Sharkery, the typical usual suspects that do like a ton of follow-up attacks that just stack a ton of fixed damage, etc. But maybe they're going to have a version of the fire team later on that does something completely different. Like they're all fire units and they'll all synergize together. Maybe they'll share 1 or 2 same supports. Like maybe Vector will still be there to implant fire weakness and to do incineration tiles. But like maybe the team won't be about doing a million follow-up attacks. Maybe it's going to be about like putting, I don't know, like 3 characters all debuffing the target, and then the 4th character, who's like a fire sniper, just comes in and just shoots them for, you know, 10 bazillion damage with 1 shot or something like that. Or, you know, think of, you know, maybe there'll be a fire team that summons pets and everything. Oh, the game die? Okay, there we go. Maybe there'll be a fire team that summons like a ton of minions or something. So there's definitely like room for new units. It's just that it's gonna be weird. It's gonna be weird because you're gonna either, like I said, you're gonna either power creep units, or you're going to have to just convince people to buy more of the same. But you are right, Ghost, That's why I was really excited about units like Vector, because I feel like Vector, no matter who they release in the future, she's sticking on that team, because she is like kind of the enabler of the fire element, right? Between the incineration tiles and her segment 1, which increases the damage your fire attacks do. Oops, that's segment 2. There it is. Burn damage take is increased by 30%. So this is important because, like, even if in that theoretical fire team where it's like everyone supports that one fire sniper and the fire sniper just does a billion damage, this ability is still super useful. That's just kind of my hot take. Could be wrong. London says, so the question is, do they give Burn some mod keys like Vector or Kyohan, or do they start 2.0 set of dolls? Yeah, that's a good that's a good question. I mean the keys, I never have been a big fan of the keys because it's usually they use them to fix their own mistakes. Like the devs will release a character that's like not tuned correctly or underpowered or doesn't synergize correctly. Like for example, Sharkery and Chongju's keys literally are just there to allow them to be played alongside Vector. That's like literally the only reason those keys exist. Because like later on in the development of the game, like 6 months down the road after they release the game, they're like, we want to release Vector, but we don't have any units that synergize with her. How do we fix this? And there's been a couple other characters that had keys that like kind of quote fixed them. And yeah, that's why I don't like the keys, because here's the problem, right? Once you get a key, you're done. Like there's no other way you're going to change that character's gameplay. Like for example, Sharkery and Chongju are now permanently part of that fire team, and that's their role for life. Like they're not going to get another key that switches their role into some other, like for example, if you wanted Chongju to be like, I don't know, on the physical team or something, right? You could take the key off so that her attacks don't do physical. It's just, I don't know. You get one chance to release the character, and then you get one chance to fix any mistakes you made with the key system. And that's, to me, I don't know. That's just kind of, and you're always playing this like game of leapfrog too. The characters that are getting keys tend to be competitive with newly released characters for about 5 minutes, and then those newly released characters eventually get a key that once again power creeps them past the characters that had previously got keys. So it's just kind of a mess. Yeah, sorry, I'm really behind on the chat, and I'm trying to do something besides just stare at the login screen there. But yeah, Undum says ideally they release a unit that can flex into the original team but can branch off into additional archetypes. That would be cool. I just, I don't know how you do that. And Paul says you have to switch things up and give characters talents that proc off other elements. That might be the next big thing that they try and do, right? They might and try and do cross elemental teams, right? They did it a teeny tiny bit with Hydro and Electric. If I think it was just Lena, which we don't have, so I can't show you, but I know that there is a couple abilities that generate tiles, like water tiles or electric tiles, and if they get hit with an additional element of that, like the opposite element, so if you're on a water tile, for example, and you get hit with an electric attack, it did something extra, and I don't think it's on Mosin. I think it's literally only on Lena. Yeah, I don't see it anywhere. But yeah, so that might be the next big thing they try, is like, okay, here we got water team, fire team, ice team, whatever. Maybe they're going to try and start like making characters that cross the two teams together. For example, yeah, like just like I said, the water electric team, maybe they'll try and get a character that's all about putting one or the other down and having another unit from the other team trigger that effect over and over. Like that could be really cool. Imagine scorch marks, but like across elements, right? Like maybe you drench them in water, and then every time they get hit with an electrical attack, they get a building stack up, and then essentially it like kind of operates like scorch mark in a similar fashion, where it's like once you get to 10 or something, like it explodes for crazy huge damage or whatever. They lose all their stability or something that synergizes with both teams' play style. That could be really cool. Yeah, Undumb says I like the idea of creating a mono element team where there's a few members and then more niche and replaceable members. And then like a splashable core of. Then there be a splashable core / duo of the team that can play well in multiple elements. And yes, you're right. They kind of have that a little bit, right? For example, the corrosion team. I use that in quotations because it's really just Klukai, Michti, and Pritya. And they're, quote, the corrosion team, but you can play them alongside 2 Hydra units, you can play them along 2 Frost units, etc., etc. My goodness, and I just realized I never bought this. I was looking so forward to this skin. Ta-da! Dude, I was so hyped about this skin, and then the Disaster Friday happened, and I totally forgot about it. Yes. Where now? Hell yeah, dude. That's what I'm talking about. You can keep your Kaukinis. You want the cyberpunk future. Yeah, and as a gacha company, they'd rather sell us new units than give us the free mod keys. Yeah. What if they sell us? Dude, that's gonna be the next big thing. Gacha for the mod keys. Hell yeah. I mean, they're gonna do it for the costumes in the big dorm system, right? Why not? Why not mod keys too? I just upset a bunch of people by saying that. I've triggered many people's PTSD. Yeah, exactly. I'm done. That's why I like that skin, because it's like inside me there are 2 wolves, right? Tactical cyberpunk, moo moo milk. The duality of man right here. So, which way into the future, guys? Which one do we pick? Oh, okay. I think I've rambled enough, dude. I'm gonna schedule Friday stream, the normal time, normal place. I hope to God I don't have any problems between now and then. The long-term fix for this, I think, is going to be like a reinstall of Windows, which is going to be a huge issue for me because there's a couple other things that are... Yeah, I'm not going to get into it. It's complicated, but yeah, we're going to try and aim for Friday. And if something happens, I will preemptively cancel it or whatever. So thank you guys for showing up on the Sunday night, fun day night. And thank you... Anybody who wants to watch this in the future, thanks for watching. And I'm gonna also decide between now and Friday if we're gonna grab segment 1 of Nikketa, because I kind of want it. But I must think with the correct brain first. But thank you guys for coming. Friday is the day, and I will see you guys then. Bye bye. See ya. Adios. Auf Wiedersehen. Bye.